Hey there guys, Luke here with the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you're doing well. For this episode, we're going back to the question and answer series. And you know what? It's time for us to address the questions that you guys have been sending in over the last couple of months. As you can see here, we definitely have a lot of questions to touch on. So you know what? It's getting late. I'm having a beer, so why not kick back, answer some of these questions for you. You guys may want to have a beverage. Might be coffee time. You never know. But let's go ahead and get started. You know, my friends, I really do appreciate all the questions that you guys sent in. You guys really did send in some good ones. Of course, we'll be doing another part to this. I get a lot of questions every single day. So, we could definitely keep this going as long as you guys want to. So look for a third part in this series coming up soon. Alright, our first question is, what's up, the Outdoor Gear Review? What's a good, cheap, compressible, lightweight sleeping bag? I know it's a lot to ask for. Thanks for the help. That's a pretty good question, and a pretty broad question too. I'm not certain if you guys are asking about a 3-season bag or a 4-season bag. There is a big difference between the two. The 4th season is always the big question mark. How cold are you talking? So, for the sake of this question, we're going to pretend this is just a 3-season sleeping bag that you're asking about. And, there's a lot of different options here. If your temperatures aren't getting very cold, if you're doing summer, spring sort of use, you can get away with a fleece blanket and it will weigh almost nothing. And you can also get them super duper cheap. They compress really, really well. I would recommend a fleece blanket down to about 55, 60 degrees. Any point past that, you have to start having a combo sort of situation where you have a really good R value on your sleeping pad to reflect some of your heat back to you. And then that blanket can be taken just a little bit further down into the 50s. Any lower than that, I wouldn't recommend a fleece blanket. Anything below 55, 60 degrees is pretty good. One thing you can look into is a down-filled quilt. You can find those fairly cheap. Jack's are better. Makes a number of different models. I think they market their quilts more as hammock quilts, but they really, really do work well. I have the Shenandoah model, and that's good to about 40, 45 degrees. And it does a really good job of keeping you warm, and that thing will compress to about that big right there. Takes up no space whatsoever, and it runs between $165 and $179, depending on the options that you get with it. That is a good option. Very lightweight, very compressible, and it's pretty good for 3-season use. Of course, you have those temperature variances that make it kind of hard to answer this question. Another thing you can do is look on eBay and just watch what people are selling. If you're looking for a good 3-season sleeping bag, the odds are you can find one on there and save a lot of money. And guys, I do it all the time. I can't help but scour those pages looking for good deals. And I find them all the time. I get sweet packs, bags, so on and so forth all the time. And you guys can definitely do the same. If you want a more specific answer to this question, please let me know. What range of temperatures that you're looking at? Is it a 4th season as well? And we'll go from there. Our next question is, I've seen your overnight backpack loadout. What's your day hike pack consist of? Is it drastically different? Honestly, it is. My day pack is a whole lot different. When it comes to my hiking, I'm all about mileage. So if I'm not testing something out specifically, maybe a new bag or so, I want to really hit those miles, and I want to go fast. I want to go light. So I carry the very basic water, food. I do always carry a shelter with me of some sort, because in these mountains it can rain at any time. Storms creep up on us like that. So I always make sure that I have a way to protect myself from the elements if I need to. I have a first aid kit. Like I said, it's all about going lightweight, super fast. With my overnight bags, my backpacking, I usually carry a good sized tent, a good sized sleeping bag, pad. I carry lots of food. So, there's definitely some differences there. Maybe in the future, I'll show you guys what my typical day hike bag looks like. I know I've done a couple of day hikes with you guys, but I've carried also a lot of gear in those packs. There's one day hike that I did that I called the Bushcraft Lunch, I believe. I did that maybe a year ago or so many months back. And in that one, that was a pretty good example of my day hike pack. Very lightweight, there wasn't much gear in that pack. That's pretty typical. So you can check that out, or in the future, I'll do another video and I'll show you what I carry. Our next question deals with sleeping pads. And it's like, hey Luke, love the videos. My question is, what's your favorite sleeping pad that you use or have? Which one would you recommend? Thanks. Great question. Another one with a lot of different answers. But you know what? For the most part, I have to say that my favorite sleeping pad is the Thermarest ProLite Plus. It weighs about a pound. It costs around $100. You can find them cheaper here and there, different deal sites, so on and so forth. It also has a good R value for wintertime use. And that R value basically means the amount of heat that it will reflect from your body back to your body, of course. That really is important when you're sleeping on something in the wintertime, because you don't want that heat, your body heat, just dissipating. You want it to be reflected back on yourself. So definitely important. That's a great little sleeping pad. It's lightweight. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room. It's not the most compressible of all the sleeping pads. But you know what? It's tough. It really is tough. You don't feel like you're going to punch a hole in it. It's very, very sturdy. Highly recommended. Check it out. That is the Thermalite ProLite Plus. Very good sleeping pad. The next question is, what started your interest in making YouTube videos? What is your favorite backpacking camping meal? Thanks, take care. Awesome question, guys. Really what got me into doing these videos was Les Stroud and his 7-day survival videos. I really enjoyed watching those. You know, it's always fun to be able to go along with someone on an adventure. You know, being in the outdoors, being in the mountains, seeing amazing things. And, you know, for so many years I've been backpacking and camping and seeing all these awesome things myself. And I just figured, you know what? A camera is nothing to carry along with me. Why not share my adventures with everybody else? So I guess you can say Les Stroud, he kind of gave me the encouragement to kind of do this. So, hey, that's pretty much it. I should say that unlike Les Stroud, I have no urge to survive. I want to go out, I want to have a great time, I want to have plenty of food and water, and have a nice shelter. You know, backpacking and survival are two different things, but they do have some very common characteristics, so that you really can mingle the two together if you have to. Like I said, when I go out and about, it's not about survival. It really is about having luxuries and having a good time and enjoying myself. Survival is not about luxury. Survival is just about making it through the night, not freezing to death, if you know what I'm saying. But my favorite meal, baked beans. You guys know that. I have them in just about every video that I do. I love them, man. There's something about barbecue baked beans being cooked over a fire. Oh, man. They are choice. Really, really awesome. How about you guys? What's your favorite? Drop a comment and let me know, okay? Alright, but this individual, he sent us a number of questions, so we'll kind of break this up here. And the first one is, what guns do you own? No comment. I'm not at liberty to say, my friends. Let's just say that I own a few. What is your favorite gun? I would have to say the Springfield M1A or the Ruger Mini 14. Those are pretty choice. What's the longest hike that you've done? And that would be 34 miles in one day. That was from Damascus, Virginia to Abington, Virginia and back. And that is absolutely killer. 34 miles in one day. And I'll tell you what, it really helps that it's nothing but flat the entire way. Because, I mean, it definitely messes you up. Other than that, I would say 25 is pretty typical. I do that fairly often. 34 is pushing it. Yeah. So the next question is, do you have any major goals for being in the outdoors, such as climb a certain mountain? I guess what I would like to do is hike the entire North Carolina section of the Appalachian Trail. That's about 94 miles or so. I'd like to take a couple days and do that. I guess another thing I'd like to do is pitch a tent and endure a blizzard here in the high country. That would be pretty intense. Do you have a workout routine for being able to hike 30 plus miles? And it's not so much a workout routine, but I like to get outside every single week. I like to go on hikes every single week. And typically I go on 2 hikes a week, and each one's about, 10 to 15 miles, something like that. And to me, man, just being able to get outside, get out with a friend of mine, chit chat, stare at the stars, watch thunderstorms, listening to the thunder and the animals and the frogs, man, that is so awesome. I have such a good time. So we can get out, we could do 15 miles and not even notice, the effects on our body after hiking all night long. It's just a blast. So, I guess you could say that's my workout routine. I like to get outdoors, I like being with my friends, and just having some good conversation and let my legs do all the work. So, there you go. Also, I should say that doing those hikes every week really does help with speed and endurance. A lot of times when I go out hiking with some of my friends who don't hike as much as I do, they'll immediately, comment on my pace. I like to keep a really fast pace, and sometimes I just have to slow down because I'm so used to it. The last question from this individual is, what is your favorite color? And that was a joke. But you know what? My favorite color is rust. I think rust is an awesome color. It's kind of red, it's kind of orange. I just like it. The next question comes in about ironclad gloves. This individual is looking on getting a pair of the heavy utility landscaper gloves for hiking and backpacking and work around the house. Honestly, I don't know anything about these gloves other than what I researched. The reviews for those gloves are not very good. A lot of people talk of the poor quality. What I would suggest is this. Check out Mechanics gloves. I'll show you a picture and how you spell that name right here on the screen. From personal experience, they absolutely rule. They're fantastic gloves. And they're great multi-purpose gloves, and you can get them at a really good price. This individual also asks that they notice that I don't wear sunglasses or eyewear when I'm out hiking. Why is that? Honestly, this is just a personal preference. I don't like sunglasses. I don't like anything around my face unless it's the wintertime and I'm having to wear sunglasses because of the snow. But really, sunglasses give me a raging headache. I just don't like them at all. I typically do not wear sunglasses unless it's the wintertime. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but I tell you what, when you have snow with sunlight reflecting off of it, it can blind you like that. So typically that's about the only time that I do wear sunglasses. Our next question comes from an individual who is looking for good starter gear to get them started on their bushcrafting and backpacking, camping, so on and so forth. And you know what? Since you're just getting into it, I recommend that you save some money and you buy secondhand. I would hate to suggest to you to go out and spend a ton of money on top of the line gear if it's something that you decide that you're really not that into. So if you're starting out, why not save a couple bucks? Buy a cheaper knife, buy a Mora, something like that. Buy a secondhand military issue backpack. Don't worry about saving so much on weight and just get gear that's really tough, that can really be put through the paces and found at a cheap price. If you're just getting started, that's what I recommend to you. And of course, just test it out and see if it is something that you're willing to invest in. Because when it comes to buying really, really, really good quality gear, the prices typically jump sky high. So, make sure it's really your thing before you start forking over the cash and have to sell it later. Our next question is, do you use a hammock when you're out backpacking? And the answer is no. Actually, I don't. And it's not because I don't like hammock camping, whatever. I just haven't ever actually gotten around to using a hammock. I've got plenty of different models. I've got a whole cabinet full of hammocks, actually. So it's definitely something that I'll do in the future. Why don't you guys tell me what you guys think about hammocks? What's your favorite brand? What's your favorite model? And give me some pointers. And maybe in the future we'll actually use one in one of our videos. This question was sent in, and it deals with assault packs. And it basically goes like this. What is your favorite 3-day assault pack? Well, to be honest with you, there's a lot of 3-day assault packs that are really only good for day hikes or possibly a overnighter. Very few are actually good for 3 days. The FILBE is a perfect example of that. It's an assault pack. It is, in my opinion, not very good for 3 days. Overnighter, sure. 3 days, no. The Eberlestock G1 Little Brother is a perfect example of a 3-day assault pack. It can hold all the gear. It's awesome. Very good quality. So if it was a true 3-day assault pack that I was talking about, it would absolutely be the Eberlestock G1 Little Brother. If it was just a regular assault pack, it would be the FILBE assault pack. Top notch, really comfortable, really awesome pack. One viewer asks, for my typical overnight backpacking bag, what is my average weight? And really, the average weight of my pack is below 30 pounds. So I'm going to say between 25, 30 pounds. That's just about right for me. And, when it comes to backpacking, there's 4 different levels when it comes to weight. You have the minimalist, which is about 20 pounds or less. You have ultralight, which is less than 25 pounds. You have lightweight, which is less than 30. And then you have the deluxe range, which is like 30 pounds and over. And that's for the guys who have like the kitchen sink and the water heater with them. And that's not really me. I'm a small guy. I have back issues and knee issues. I don't want to carry a lot of weight. So for myself, I'm a lightweight camper, backpacker. I'm not too big on the minimalist thing. Sometimes I can go ultralight like I'm doing with our stealth video. That's going to be an ultralight scenario. But typically, even for the wintertime, I could sometimes get away with the ultralight to lightweight range. That's me. Now, of course, when it comes to those weight philosophies, everybody's philosophy is different. Some people think that 30 pounds is considered lightweight, or 50 pounds is deluxe. So on and so forth. I'm not going to argue with anybody. To each their own. Those are my weight ranges right there. All right. Next question is, what is the worst backpacking trip you've ever had? And you know what, guys? I remember this trip like it was yesterday. It was one of my very first trips, and I was using what I would consider just very average gear. And the truth is, I had that pack weighed down with so much junk that I wouldn't use. I mean, tons of everything. I had a fishing kit in it. I don't even think I was going fishing. I don't know. Just had it just in case. And that pack probably weighed 50 pounds, maybe even more. And I remember very clearly hiking up the very first mountain and getting to the top and just about stroking out because I was so tired, so winded. I mean, I'm 130 pounds, so that pack is just ridiculous for my needs. And that was a pretty awful camping trip. I was so worn out from carrying this gigantic pack that was as big around as I am tall, basically. That's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. But that was pretty funny. Looking back on it, I can laugh, but I remember very specifically then I was not laughing. That definitely was not my best trip. That was a long time ago, too. And it seems like I was using an old Atlas pack of some sort. I don't know. Pretty funny. Good times. Our final question that was sent in deals with Les Stroud and Bear Grylls. Who is better? Not to offend anybody, to each their own. If you guys happen to like Bear Grylls, that's fine. Personally, I like Les Stroud. I like his idea and philosophies of survival better. I've seen, I don't know, maybe the first season of Bear Grylls, whatever his show was, Man vs. Wild or something a long time ago. And, I didn't think it was very realistic. I'm not a survivalist. That's not what I do. But like I said before, a lot of characteristics from backpacking and camping go hand in hand with survival, because a lot of times they can be the same sort of thing. And watching Bear Grylls will get you killed. Absolutely. That's my perspective. I would not operate in the same manner as him But, you know, I think his show is more for entertainment. Yeah, if I had to pick one, I say Les Stroud. I think he's the man. You know, very admirable guy. He not only, you know, he lives what he preaches, and that's a pretty rare thing. So, yeah, there you go. What do you guys think? Who's your favorite? Les Stroud or Bear Grylls? Or if you happen to have another, share your thoughts. Alright guys, thank you so much for sending in your questions. It's been a blast answering them for you. We'll be doing a part 3 of this coming up shortly where you guys can ask some more questions and I'll happily give you the best answers I can. I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, and all that good stuff. It's much appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. You all take care.